Hi my friends, today we'll be looking at the poem of Kim Namjoon, better known as RM, better known as Rap Monster. So I was reading he's the founding member of BTS, so let's see what's about him. So a simian line on both hands, but we'll concentrate on the right hand only. First of all, we see that, and first of all, I'll say that simian line is a very searched item related to palmistry, but it is not a negative thing or a positive thing. It is like, you know, like it is just a personality aspect. Like if someone's, like just giving an example, if someone's head and lifeline and headline are joined at the start, so it shows introverted nature. If they are separated, it shows an independent extroverted nature, so it's just a personality type. So what happens with the simian line? Basically this is more of a partial simian line. The more full simian line is here, so that means that a person who grew up with the simian line but was very, like what you say, obsessive, could be very stubborn, could be fixated on one thing, but as he grew up in such an environment that his thinking changed and became more open minded. So here we see that the headline is shifting. This is the first headline, lifeline, a small headline there, even though he was very good in studies. But the people with shorter headlines, they don't tend to be in the higher studies or study higher than bachelor level, because they don't like going into details on things and are more practical. That's why people with short to medium headlines are called money maker headlines, because they don't go into the deep depth of things. But if we are going to say, oh, then wealthy people, do they have long headlines or no? It depends on the whole hand. Jeff Bezos has a very long headline. Jack Ma does not have a very long headline. So you can also check out my readings for them and also check out the article on Jack Ma. Anyways, let's go ahead. So we see that the second headline is going then downward. So this headline is distinct. So he has a double headline. This headline is starting from Jupiter, the Mount of Ambition. So he made a decision. I was reading, he told his mother that, would you rather have a famous musician as a son or a fifth, 500th placement student? So because it's also logical, because if you're exceeding in academics, then your parents would be like, oh, why are you going to a musical career, etc. But the risk paid off, and plus his hand is also showing a lot of practicality, like a guy who, if he did not succeed that much in the music world, he would just go back to studying, or like he like if he I think he got his degree and then he also enrolled in masters. I'm not sure if he got a master's degree, but of course he must have gotten his bachelor's, so he enrolled in masters. But the main thing is that he is smart enough to get into a master's degree. So there's a lot of creativity, but as I said before, he would have got just gone and done a normal job. Very self-made person, very practical. We see that the hand is extremely square. I think out of all the BTS members' hands, I think three more are left, but this person, he is very practical. Like he is a person who not only makes art but knows how to profit from it. So that's why I think he's also the leader of the group, and that he has also had a very successful solo career both abroad and locally. Then we see that, if you notice that the second headline is a bit longer, but it is like still medium length, because it's going here and it's going towards the first mount of moon. So the first mount of moon, as I said, the whole hand is divided into three segments. So we have the first, which is intellect, second, which is practicality, and third, which is physicality. Now the first represents intellect in the way, because it's not that intellect, the common, the logical side. It's the intellect of imagination. It's so he when he produces art, he approaches it with an intellect. He has an intellectual capacity, but his initial days, this capacity came like a bit later on, I would say at 23 or 22. Like at this point he started like becoming serious about his art. He started writing very high quality works. Before that, he was like a bit unsure of himself, because the head and lifeline are close to each other or connected, the first one, and plus it's very short. So the thing is, if you see that this person was born with a simian line, he, due to changing his thinking and then the eventual support of parents, like he made a decision. Like this is what's important. Like in poetry, it's all about change. It's all about the decisions you make. It's all about the change, the nurture versus nature structure. Like many people say, oh, this person's nature is like this, but here you can see a live example that the two hands are shown, and that this person, because simian line is a very extreme connotation. It means that the head and heart lines are joined, and it means that the person makes decisions using both of those things. So when this is changed or even partially changed, it's still connecting with the heartline, that means the person really changed themselves. And then we also have to see that with this, the heartline and headline, like, mixing it up a bit, not too much, not joining completely partial. I would say this is a partial simian line, but the head rules. I'll say why, because one, there are two headlines. Second, this headline is very long and starting from the Mount of Ambition, Jupiter. So the person, generally these people are very successful in whatever they pursue. The people with the headline from Mount of Jupiter, and then we see how far the heartline is from the finger. So this person, he does not share his feelings easily. He does not wear his heart on his sleeves, meaning that if he is flamboyant, that's due to his career. But his innermost feelings, only one or two people will know, and if he doesn't reveal it at all, secretly, no one would know. But so he is very, I would say, driven by the head. So these type of people, they don't like fall into scandals, have illicit relationships, or in general do stupid things to ruin their career or reputation. They might appear a bit like in person, they might appear a bit cold, a bit aloof, but that is just their personality. Like, they don't want to open up that easily. So there's that. But overall, I think he has also contributed to charity, and this hand does not show any selfishness. It just shows a person who is like keeps his real self hidden, and he just wants those who he loves to know about him. So there's that. So a very mental person, and I think till all of the hands, BTS members hands I've read, this person is the most intellectually smart. He has an IQ of 148. Maybe they have a higher IQ. I did not check, but this is what I'm saying from the hand. And we also see that there are many support lines here, showing a lot of support, especially from family members, because it's from inside of the hand. And then we also see that the fate line is very, it's actually shifting around in the what you say, this could be the 20th age of 20th, 18 to 20, like there will be a shift. And also, if we see, if this is in the early 20s, we also see at the same time the headline is shifting. So at the same time, 20s, the headline is changing. So you have to see both things are changing. Like, this person's career path is changing from doing a master's to music, and the headline is changing, so showing that before that he was not sure of himself. And then we see that the fate line is like very strong after the break. There is a bit of a gap which shows that the person is trying to fit into the new thing which he is doing. And then we also see a good relationship line, a very single relationship line but it's very late at 40. So it's not like he would marry at 40. It could be he would marry even earlier, maybe marry in his 30s. But this, as I said, this person is very career oriented. So by choice he might marry late into his 40s. But it will be a successful marriage because the hand is very clear, and this person knows who he is. So that's the biggest thing. And he doesn't have personality flaws, like being obsessive, etc. That was shown by the simian line, but he has changed himself. But this person is driven by ambition. Even maybe after marriage he will be producing stuff, and he is also very likely to marry someone as equally ambitious as him. We also see a good Mercury line here. This is starting at around the 23 mark. I would say, because this is the 20s, early 20s, this is the 23, and then we see when the triangle is formed and it's very well formed. This means that he started earning a lot of money, earning and saving a lot. This is what is meant by the triangle here. So I only see success ahead for him. There are no noticeable problems, like maybe he does have a problem connecting with people on an emotional level, but as the age goes by, people learn this thing, like he can change this thing about him, or by gaining experience. Thank you so much for being with me for this palm reading. Hope you have a very nice day ahead.